What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. You know, you got to ask yourself, could this be the last season we actually see Kawhi and PG on the same team in regards to being in LA on the Clippers team? It's very possible. And I say this with, the utmost respect for this, for the team, what they've done so far and everything, how they kept this team together, even though through all the injuries that they've, sustained. There's really no excuses for the Clippers, going forward. There's no excuses for them not, at least making it to the NBA Finals this year. I mean, if everybody stays healthy, there's no more excuses. And even if they don't stay healthy, I'm pretty sure most people in the NBA world would say that's not even an excuse for the Clippers as well, because it'd be 4 seasons they've been together and they just didn't get it done. And they had the two main They had the 3 main people there they had the 2 main people there within the last 4 years of them starting this operation, which is Kawhi and PG. So even the excuse of being injured probably won't bode well for the Clippers going forward if they don't find a way to at least bare minimum make it to a finals this year, which would be the first time they ever made it to a finals. And I'm saying this because, it's year number 4 for the Clippers. They've been together long enough to make a run. And I believe they would have actually won the championship like 2 seasons ago if Kawhi, or about a year ago, if Kawhi didn't get hurt in the playoffs. But that's neither here nor there. It didn't happen, so nothing you can really speak on. But at the same time, I feel like this team really, has that momentum this year. And I feel like, if they can just, find a way to, make it through the season. They don't have to see. And that's the thing I always speak about. Like, you don't like Kawhi Leonard. When I speak on him specifically, there's many times during the regular season where Kawhi Leonard plays very good. He plays like a superstar player. But at the same point, he leaves something left for the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? Like, he leaves himself room enough to build and, take it to that next level, turn it up a notch in the playoffs. And I think that's what most of the Clippers have to do as a team. They have to find a way to make it through the season. I don't care if they load manage. I don't care if they, take off a few games, whatever the case may be. Do whatever you have to do to at least manage, get through this season, hopefully without any major injuries or anything like that. And, work your way through the season as it progresses and just get through it and go to the playoffs and then let it all out, let it all happen. Because I don't really want to see the Clippers, I'd rather the Clippers be a 5th or 6th seed going into the playoffs and make it all the way through to the finals, rather than them being possibly a number 1 seed going all out in the regular season and possibly get knocked out the first or second round of playoffs because they might not have much gas left. You see what I'm saying? I've seen teams do that before. I've seen that happen to teams on several occasions when we talk about, a team, lusting for a championship, trying to push towards that. Sometimes when the team is projected to be so well and so good and so much of a well-oiled machine and so well put together as a unit, sometimes teams I've seen, they'll go out and play so great during the regular season, and then when the playoffs start, it's like they showed their hand already. They showed all the qualities they have. They showed all the highs and stuff that they have. You see what I'm saying? And it's like when the playoffs come, they're running the same sets almost, and they look like almost the same team they were in the regular season in regards to their approach to the playoffs, because they don't have anything else to show. They showed it all during the regular season, showed all their high quality during the regular season. Then when the postseason came, they had no surprises for the opposing team of who they played in a 7-game series. And I've seen that happen to teams many times over, a la the Utah Jazz. Just a couple seasons ago, the Utah Jazz, had the best record in the league. And or at least it was a year or two ago, they had the best record in the league. I think it was the year Kawhi got hurt, actually, when the Clippers beat the Jazz, actually, when Terrence Mann had that 39-point game to end it. But either way, there again, they were a team who showed everybody in the regular season, they're good. They were putting up all these great numbers, and, they were such a good team and all these things. But when the playoffs came, it was the same old story with the Utah Jazz, out the first, second round at best. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't want the Clippers to fall into that, because that's very possible, because the Utah Jazz wasn't projected to be a championship team like the Clippers are, but they did play at a very high level that one season, a couple seasons ago, and they managed to end up having close, or I think they did having the number one seed, in the West, or maybe in the NBA or something like that. But in the playoffs, it showed their real colors, because there was no adjustments made, and they were pretty much the same basic team that they were in the regular season. Because what teams have to realize is, when you go into the postseason of the playoffs, some of your game, some of your style needs to change, especially since you're shrinking your lineup down to like an 8-man rotation, pretty much what you're going to use in the playoffs, 8-9-man rotation. So if it shrinks down to that specifically, you have specific pieces that you have going in there as a coach that you want to execute certain things. So even still with that, you have to come up with a game plan in regards to who you're playing in a 7-game series, but how it benefits you in regards to the matchups. And that's how coaches switch their style up in regards to how they attack certain teams in the playoffs. But when you looked at Utah about a year ago, they didn't really have any surprise type of attacks towards anybody. They played the exact same way, pretty much basic basketball through their talent of which they had, and it just wasn't good enough, to get them really anywhere in the playoffs. And that's exactly what could happen to the Clippers, but I don't think it will, because they have too much talent for one, and they got Kawhi Leonard for another. So that pretty much makes up for that to me. But in all seriousness, the Clippers have to, benefit from everything. They have to benefit from the preseason, which they are now. They got one more game left. They got to benefit from the regular season by building that chemistry through overtime, and then kind of rest themselves up a little bit and gear up for the playoffs so they can make the run for the ultimate destination, which is the finals, and possibly to win the championship. So if all this happens, then everything will align right for the Clippers. But they need everybody to stay healthy. They need everybody to be there, and they need to just find a way to make it through the season. I don't care if somebody has to sit out 2 weeks, 3 weeks, on a knee or a ankle or a wrist or, whatever the case, a finger, it doesn't matter what it is. If people if anybody on this lineup needs to sit out for a little while during the season, just so they can kind of make it through the season, won't re-aggravate anything or injure anything, so they can stay healthy, that's what the Clippers need to do, because that's the only way they're ever going to really see the prosperity that they're looking for, because they can't really afford no major injuries, because if they get that, it's over with. I don't think they're going to, make a run then, and then on top of that, it'll be another lost season. And then it goes back to my first question that I asked, is this the last season we see Kawhi and PG, in the same, wearing the same jersey on the same team, in LA, with the Clippers? And it very much is a possibility, because you have to understand, if it doesn't work out this year, where else do you go from here? Do you just go get another second best player and keep Kawhi? Does Kawhi walk and somebody else come with PG, or does both of them stay and try to make it work one more season? It's so many questions that'll come after that. It's going to be very, very interesting to see, but hopefully the Clippers won't have to answer those questions. Hopefully they'll, get to their ultimate destination in the finals and, see what happens from there. And hopefully their dream will come true in regards to, lifting up their first trophy ever in Clippers history. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.